What is up, guys? Today, back in the garage. If you watched the last video, it was about my Jeep. It's a 1973 CJ5. We're working on that again today. We got some new parts in. We got a new bed, and I don't know what this is called. It's the front brace that goes behind the seats. Call it a cowl. I don't know. I've been practicing welding because we have to weld all this down here to before we put it in the Jeep to make it easier. And we're going to be taking the tub off to be able to weld this part in. So for the time being, we don't have any gas for the TIG welder that we just got, so we can't refill that in time. So we're just going to have to make do with either the arc welder or the MIG welder, and I think I'm going to use the MIG. I've been practicing with it over here, and I'm almost ready to do it, but before then I'm going to practice some more. By the way, guys, I do have a much better quality camera today. I don't know if you can tell, this is the one I'm going to be using from now on. I didn't use it before because I had battery problems, but then I looked at the differences in the footage, and this is much better quality. So I'm going to be using this one to film from now on. Gosh, I'm really thinking about going ahead and doing this, but I mean, this just makes me really nervous. This right here alone is $600 of metal, already stamped and stuff. And there's more metal than this down there that we're definitely gonna have to use a TIG for because it's thinner. I figured I could go ahead and do this right now because I mean it's fairly thick metal. It's I think it's a 6. I don't know what gauge it is, but it's pretty thick, 14 gauge maybe. But I really don't want to go ahead and mess it up because it's $600, like I said. Those of you who have watched the original videos on my page, which might be going private soon, sorry, I just, they weren't good quality, and I don't want to be having a reputation for bad videos, but this is a 1975 Triumph Spitfire, and we just got done with the first primer, which is a 2K urethane primer, and it came out pretty good. It's still kind of shiny. We just sprayed it yesterday. That's why we didn't work on the Jeep. We didn't work on the Jeep yesterday. We're trying to get this out of the way. Now that we have it sprayed, we put it up on these sawhorses and moved it over to the side. And maybe later today, we're gonna be pulling the Jeep up here. It's obviously it's in a ton of different pieces right now, and we couldn't drive it, so we're gonna be pulling it up here with the truck and parking it right here to work on it, but we have to get this done first, and if we don't get this done, then nothing like that's ever going to happen. I've taken at least 10 or 15 minutes measuring this repeatedly, getting it down to the exact little tick mark on the ruler, tape measure, to make sure that it's perfectly centered on this. That's the scariest part about it. They're both exactly 11.5-inch overhang.
Martin had a dream. Martin had a dream. Kendrick have a dream.
By the way, guys, I also wanted to point out that this is not going to be the only thing holding this on. The hole underneath side, I don't know if you can see it or not, but under there is a lip that runs from here all the way down. If the TIG welder's working, I don't know if I don't think we're supposed to weld that all the way down, but we're definitely supposed to put some spot welds down it all the way across. We don't have a spot welder though, so we're gonna have to wait on that. I don't know, you have to have a special spot welder to get in the center of the metals or something. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do more research on that, but so far it's held in place and the welds don't look terrible. I'm gonna hit that with a flat disc and knock it down some too to make it look a little bit better, knock off some of the slag. But for now, that's gonna be good. I'm gonna finish that up after I eat. What I'm gonna try to do next is, as I explained earlier, we need to pry this up on both sides. On the other side, I do not have the spot welds drilled off. I do on this side though. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pry this up or not. I think it's gonna be harder than it looks. So I'm gonna try and, I don't know what I'm gonna have to do. I'll probably end up having to just cut this bottom part off and figure it out later. Guys, I have to spend at least 20 extra minutes every single day walking back and forth from the house to the shop just for forgetting stuff. Like a hammer, I knew I had a hammer and I walked down there anyways. I don't know. The first one was actually really easy. Most of the spot welds were already drilled out though, so all I had to do was pry it. It's time for another trip up there. I was just complaining about that, but I forgot the drill again, and that's totally my fault. But the only thing that's holding this up right now is I have a board back there that's on the back corner, and I have that on both sides. Well, it goes all the way across, and then I have this piece that's about to break that's also going underneath to the fender. It's not really touching anything right now, but so what I did is, since this side's off, I'm about to be, if I can find any cutting disc, I'm gonna try and go ahead and cut this all the way off. And it's broke in the middle. That's one reason why we're replacing it. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try and get this cut off before I do that side. So I had to support it somehow, and this board was a little short, so I added this in there and put it in there and just wedged it up. And so now it lifted it up about another inch, and it gave me clearance, so now I can work on this without having a lot of pressure. I thought I was gonna go ahead and cut this off, but I just remembered that I'm actually we're replacing the floorboard too. The floor pan actually doesn't look too bad over here, but we're actually going to replace the floorboard anyways. So now that this is out, this is flimsy, I'm going to see if I could get a cutting disc and just not exact, but roughly do leave a little bit more than we're going to actually need, and go ahead and cut it to here and then across here, and that should be enough to pull this whole thing out. And the whole thing is probably going to fall. I'm going to see if I can get a farm jack and go underneath this frame right here and to hold it up, but I'm going to have to move this first, so that's going to be tough. I'll figure it out. So what I did on this side is this was all starting to droop. So I got a piece of wood and it wasn't quite long enough, and I put it on the jack, and I can lift it up and lower it down if I think it needs more pressure, which it does. And so now I'm not worried about the whole cowl bending or warping whenever we go and put the Jeep back together and nothing fits. Basically what I'm doing next is I already got that cut right there. You can't really see it well on camera. I got this whole line cut. I'm starting to pry up right here so we can lift that out, and I don't know where I'm going to stop the cut. I guess I'll come all the way up around this and come down this line right here. I definitely have to unbolt these. These are frame bolts that are going to it, and there's a lot of spot welds coming along here where the floor braces are. And I've pried up 4 of them so far. They're actually popping up pretty easy because I can get a lot of force on the hammer. One thing that I probably ought to do is cover all this up. It's all getting like pieces of metal and stuff that I'm cutting. It's all going on there. I probably ought to cover that up eventually, but right now I'm just trying to get this done before I go in. I think at some point in somebody's life they were going through a crisis and decided to put in this bolt on one frame bolt and this one on the other. I mean, there might be a little difference there. Alright guys, I felt the need to show you this because I was very proud of my ingenuity. I got it all cut out. I didn't video all that because I didn't want the battery to run dead. It's the last charged battery I have. I got it all pried up everywhere. I had to cut all the way through here and on the back side of this to make sure that's not connected. The cowl, I mean whatever this is not connected across there anymore. So all I have left to do is get it out. So what I did was I didn't have a board that was like quite the right length. So I raised it and stacked a bunch of boards, put this one standing straight up, and I'm gonna jack it until it breaks free. I don't think anything else is holding on. I've been looking underneath there. So I'm gonna go ahead and, Alright, there is one more thing holding on. There's another frame bolt in the back. I'm gonna go ahead and take that off, and then I'm gonna show you how this is gonna work. It actually turns out that I did not need to set up my jack system, although I am still proud of it, but right now I'm just gonna lift it out. It's not heavy or anything. I just want to make sure I got it on video before I did it. I folded all this up, so I mean it's not, none of the metal's good anyways. Just gonna throw it in the scrap pile to go to the trash. But that means tomorrow, if I have time, I'll get down here and try and take out the other side, and then maybe we can see it. We can start putting that in and get a couple welds on it to hold it in place. But we'll see. We're gonna have to get the floor pan in on this side first, and on the other side. I forgot about that. So tomorrow we won't be starting to get that in, but this weekend there's a good chance that the bed will start to go in. We'll get a couple of spot welds along the fenders over here to hold it in place. That way it'll be structurally sound so that we can pull off the tub from the entire tub from the frame. We can start stripping the frame down, finish all our body work, fill in all this, replace some of these frames in here with some some scrap metal. We still have to replace the spot back there on the back, right there. We still have to put in the tail light panels. Still have to put in the bracket that goes around the back of the bed. I'm getting ahead of myself though. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out, and that'll probably be the videos.
Martin had a dream.
Alright guys, my camera is dying. That's going to be the video. I'm really sweaty right now. I'm done working though for the night. It's really late. Right now I got everything on that side ready to test fit the trunk of the bed. On the left side I still have to do the exact same process over there. And then we're really close to being able to weld in the floor pans too. I say really close, so we're like within 10 hours of work probably, which is close compared to the amount of hours I have on the rest of the Jeep. But before the camera dies, I just want to say, please remember to subscribe and like the video. Come back tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have the other side out in that video, and we'll start test fitting up the floor pans and the rear bed. So again, thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe.